Hi, I'm Muhammad Isham, student Master of Physiotherapy Musculoskeletal. Today, I would like to do a case study one. Case study one is patient presenting with left upper lateral shoulder pain. Patient complain of pain, especially during the morning and at the end of the day. Then patient having pain scale is 5/10. So, furthermore, patient also complain difficulty in brushing the teeth and perform his LDL activity. Okay, what I need? Okay, patient in standing position. So, what I need to observe for this patient, would like to observe from posterior view the patient posture. Okay, what we can see from the posterior view is the patient shoulder level, then patient back posture, then furthermore I will access on lateral view. Okay, okay. This is a lateral view. So from the lateral view, what we can view is patient posture also, although patient having a kyphotic or lordotic posture. Okay, then furthermore in frontal view. So in frontal view, what we can see is a patient shoulder level, so patient nipple level. Okay, so what test I need to perform to this patient is hand behind back test. So patient in a standing position, patient need to put his hand over the back. Okay, cik letak tangan di belakang. So, okay, from this test, what we can see is what we can see is if patient having a problem to put his hand at the back, that means that the pain cause patient unable to do this movement. Furthermore, what we can see if the patient, this is a patient shoulder, if the head of humerus moving forward or moving superiorly, that means patient having a tight glenohumeral joint, tight posterior calf muscles. Okay, then what we can see from this test also is a scapular movement. So whether the scapula in a natural position or not. Okay, so if the scapula looks winging scapula, that means the distance between the medial border and the spine look got large distance. That means patient having winging scapula. Furthermore, the prominent medial border that indicate patient having winging scapula. So what from winging scapula, what we can conclude that maybe patient having serratus anterior weakness. And furthermore, if a patient having elevated scapula, that means patient having overactive levator scap muscle. Then if patient having retracted scapula, that means patient having underactive middle and lower trapezius muscle. In addition, for this test also, if patient perform this test, then the patient head slightly move forwards, then the patient slightly bend forwards. That means patient having forward head posture and increased thoracic kyphotic. That means for forward head posture, that means patient having weak deep neck extensor and tight suboccipital extensor muscle. For patient having increased thoracic spine kyphotics, that means patient having tight pectoralis minor muscle, then lack of passive spring osmosis of thoracic spines. Okay, that's all from the case ones. Okay, thank you. This is my second case study. For my second case study is this patient having a right posterior knee pain. So what this patient complain is, patient this patient complained of pain increasing during kicking a ball. However, in resting position, there is no pain. Okay, for this patient, I would like to do two tests. The first one is, we call it alternate knee extension and ankle dorsiflexion test. Okay, sir? Cuba angkat kaki. Okay, dah 5 kali, cuba buat. Okay, good. Okay, first, from this test, what we can see. Okay, if during this test, if what we can observe, if the knee patient medially rotate, so what does that mean? That means patient having dominant TFL. Furthermore, then maybe this patient also having tightness, pes externus. Then also this patient also maybe having tightness or overactivity of medial hamstring. Then the second things what we can see from this test is this patient having lack of knee extension. So from what we can see from this patient, if this patient having lack of knee extension, maybe this patient having quadricep muscle weakness. Otherwise, this patient may be having tightness or overactivity of the hamstring. And maybe this there is also involvement of neural structure also. Then, if patient having lack of ankle dorsiflexion, if this patient having a lack of ankle dorsiflexion, that means this patient having tightness of the calf muscle. Okay. Then the last one, what you can see also from the posture of this patient. If the patient repeatedly doing the knee extension and dorsiflex, if the patient posture move in kyphotic and reduce the lumbar lordotic curve, that means patient having overactivity of overactivity of hamstring and calf muscles. Okay. Then we progress to the second test. The second test is what we call is a bridging test. So patient in crook lying position. Okay, cik boleh baring. Actually, for this test, there are a few progression. Okay, this is the easiest one I will show. Okay, patient in crook lying. So what patient needs to do is patient needs to lift up the buttock. Okay. Okay, this one the easiest one. Then, if patient can do, we can progress to the second one. The knee become closed. Okay, then ask patient also to lift up the buttock. Okay, if both leg also can do, then we progress to the single leg bridge. Okay, the patient needs to lift up the buttock. Okay, okay, what we can see from this test is we want to see if patient unable to perform this test or progress to another stages, that means this patient having weakness of gluteus muscle, weakness of hamstring. So furthermore, what we can see during bridging, if patient unable to maintain the lumbar pelvic laterals, that means also patient also having weakness of gluteus and weakness of hamstring. Furthermore, if a patient complain of catch or during bridging, if we palpate, if patient over excessive use of hamstrings, that means this patient also having hip joint problem, which is a hip extension problem. So I think that's all from me. Then thank you.